Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Beardsworth Gonzalez Gymnasium on the campus of New Bedford High School, where tonight the New Bedford Cable Network brings you boys high school volleyball action. It's the homestanding Whalers of New Bedford High taking on the Hilltoppers of Durfee High School. Joe Cabral and Pete Braley with you tonight for this matchup of two former Big Three conference teams. Of course, the big rivals from New Bedford and Fall River meeting here at the Beardsworth Gonzalez Gymnasium. Both teams, Pete, having good seasons. New Bedford at 11-0. Durfee still doing well at 7-4.
Yeah, the Whalers 2-0 in the conference. Durfee is 0-2. Both teams last played Wednesday. New Bedford beat Xaverian 3-1. Carter Barboza had 13 assists and 8 service points. Nick Rosa had 10 service points. Durfee beat Taunton 3-1 at home. Chris Milford had 23 kills in that game. Josh Sandin had 18, and Ethan Horseman had 12 service aces. Durfee hosted New Bedford back on April 4th when the Whalers won 3-2. Carter Barboza led New Bedford that night with 33 assists. The starting lineups now for Durfee.
That was Jack Souza introduced initially. Number 4 is Braden Bartley. 6 is J.O. Olabanwo. 16 was Nicholas Caron. And just rounding out the starters, Christopher Milford, the senior, wearing number 1. We'll catch up with the other starters for Durfee when we can, but now New Bedford, Pete, and their starters will be introduced.
That's Coach Ben Caturli on the microphone.
Number 16, sophomore outside hitter,
Juan Grau Montano, the sophomore, wearing number 16. Number 20 is the junior, Nyron Foster. Both have played well for the Whalers throughout this season. Number 10 is Devon Shields, the junior. Starts out as the middle hitter for New Bedford. Number 14 is Nicholas Rosa. Nick does well on the outside. He's a junior. Number 1 is Devon Centeo, the junior, and libero. 13 is Amir Salih Tavares, a junior. And then, Pete, you talked about Carter Barboza, the captain and senior setter, wearing number 18. Crowd rising here. It's an early start, so not quite the crowd we expect by the end of the match, but we're ready for the national anthem. National anthem from the Beardsworth Gonzalez Gymnasium. New Bedford will be in their home white with red numerals, and Durfee in their road red and black with black and white numerals and trim.
As I said, these teams met on April 4th, I think it was, in Fall River. New Bedford won that game 3-2. New Bedford's only had 2 contests this year that have gone to a 3-2. The other was Monday night against North Quincy. So they beat Durfee 3-2, and I asked Coach Brendan Kelly from Durfee before the game. I said, do you look back to that game to build on that? Or obviously you've come a long way since April 4th. The Whalers have too. Do you look at what they're doing in the past week or so? And he said he focuses more on where they are now because he said both of them, they're not the same team that they were April 4th.
Yeah, no question. And I'm sure Durfee coming into this one thinking, yeah, we pushed them to 5 sets. So it was anybody's match. When you get to the 5th set, of course, you only played at 15.
Right.
But New Bedford prevailed. So I'm sure they're looking at this one and saying, here's a chance to pull off a bit of an upset. New Bedford has had an outstanding season. I'm sure you'll check in later with the latest power rankings that we have. As the Whalers at 11-0, they're on the charts now, Pete.
And another interesting thing Coach Kelly told me before the game was that he felt in that last matchup between Durfee and New Bedford, the guys weren't really they didn't buy into it that, hey, we can beat these guys until halfway through the night. So if they had played that way from the beginning, it would have been a different story.
And Durfee starts it off here this evening. On the outside, that's Rosa. And the initial point of the match will go to New Bedford and a kill to Nicholas Rosa. 1-0 Whalers.
Probably call his name a lot tonight, Nick Rosa. He's a big part of the New Bedford attack.
You are right, Pete. Serving for the Whalers, Nyron Foster. Fine serve there, and it's a service ace for Foster. Last time we were here, Pete, it was against Vogue Tech, and Nyron Foster had a night.
He did, yep. Once he gets on the roll from that service line, look out. Another.
Back-to-back service aces for Nyron Foster. And if Durfee can't return serve here against New Bedford, they're going to have a long night. That helps, of course, when you serve into the net, give up a service error, unforced error, and a point to Durfee, their first of the match. It's 2-1 New Bedford. 3-1 New Bedford, check that. Serving for the Hilltoppers, it'll be number 7, Ethan Horseman. Horseman is a senior. To the outside. New Bedford could not put it away. Here's the Whalers setting middle of the floor. And Salih Tavares. First kill for Amir Salih Tavares. 4-1 Whalers.
And coming into the game, Devin Shields. He'll play at the net. Along with Montano.
Abner's son serving. Just came in for the Whalers. Point to New Bedford as Durfee fails to return the serve.
Abner's son, the junior, back to serve again for the Whalers.
Nice serve, but a bit long that time by Abner, so the point to Durfee. It's 5-2 Whalers.
Busy day here at the complex, huh? I pulled in looking to park in our usual spot. There's lacrosse going on in the corner. There's softball going on. Baseball's warming up across the street.
And the serve is out. Point to New Bedford. Yes, Pete. So a lot of home activities here at New Bedford High School here this evening.
I gotta tell you, I parked and then reparked because I thought I am in baseball foul ball territory.
Oh, that was a nice serve, but just wide. That one knuckled. Really had some action on it, Pete. And a timeout here.
It's an early timeout called by Coach Brendan Kelly.
Yeah, very early. 6-3 Whalers leading it.
You mentioned the power rankings, and they were updated this morning on the MIAA website. And in volleyball, New Bedford is ranked 10th in Division I. Durfee is 30th. So if it were to end today, although there are three weeks left in the regular season, then both teams would advance into the playoffs. You have to be in the top 32 or have a 500 record. So New Bedford High is 10th, Durfee is 30th, and also checking other schools we cover. Greater New Bedford Tech volleyball is 27th.
It's amazing that the Whalers, with the 11-0 record, are only 10th.
Right.
And of course, the power rankings are determined by points and what you achieve by defeating some teams and who you're playing against.
Some may think dartboard, but no, it's strength of schedule.
It's not supposed to be that, but obviously the strength of schedule is kind of a bit nebulous at the start of the season, right? So before the season starts, you're determined that this team's going to be ranked here, this team's going to be ranked there, and then there is some variation, obviously, from there as it moves along, but that sets you back initially. And Whalers were not even ranked, Pete, if we remember, right?
Right.
To start the season.
That point was originally given to Durfee, I think, and then the officials talked, and a point for New Bedford is now 7-3.
They said it was out. So here's the Whalers' Graumontano. Juan serving. He has a powerful serve. Oh, what a nice dig there by Rosa. And Foster plays it over safely.
Watch number 1, Milford.
Matuzik on the outside, set up Christopher Milford, and that was a ball that was well struck. A kill for Christopher Milford.
Coach Kelly told me before the game, just wait till you see Milford play. He's just a natural.
Has some size. 7-4, New Bedford leads it. Milford is serving. That's Rosa. Then the bump in Graumontano. Just plays it over safely. To the outside, a ball off the tape, I think. It depends if New Bedford was there. They're going to say no. They're going to say New Bedford, though. I think into the net is what the floor umpire decided.
Both teams, their JV squads played before this, and I guess I'm starting to sound like an old guy. These guys look like they were 12 to me. What a difference in size, though, between the JV squads
and the varsity.
And the varsity.
Serve is out. Well, obviously, they could be 14, Pete. So when you say 12, you're not too far off.
Not too far off, right. But as we know, with teenage boys, just give them a summer to grow.
Yeah, that's it.
2 years, and they're a totally different picture.
Yeah. Here's a ball to Milford. Took something off it, made sure he got it over. There's Graumontano. He could not put one away. Violation called against Durfee. Speaking of that, between my sophomore and junior year, in vacation, I grew like 6 inches. Kids were saying, are you the same?
Are you the same guy?
Yeah, you're the same guy. And really, and I was like, yeah, it's exactly what you said, though. It does happen like that. Oh, there's a ball just hammered on the outside.
No, that wasn't Milford.
That was Joshua Sannon. He just absolutely crushed that. So Durfee has some players. They have some hitters in Milford and Sannon.
10 seniors on
a lot of
roster.
seniors. So the negative part is it's going to be a depleted squad next year. Unless he's got a lot of talent on the bench.
Another violation.
Another point to New Bedford on the violation called against Durfee. 10-6 Whalers.
As opposed to Durfee having 10 seniors, New Bedford has only 4 on the roster. So a lot of these players back next year, and Juan Graumontano is just a sophomore.
Yep, New Bedford should have a good squad, and Montano's struggled a bit here. Just been okay so far, and when we saw him against Volk, he struggled in that match. Other than that, he's been dominant throughout the season. That's Centeo. On the outside, the tip there by Rosa. The point goes to Durfee, though. So Rosa with a violation there. You can't step under the line there. That's on the floor because that's same as going into the net. Middle of the floor. And Silly Tavares tried to hammer it and hit it long, and Durfee is right back in set number 1, trailing at 10-9. Number 2 is Daniel Matuzik. outside Rosa, but he was
block.
blocked. That was number 14, Sannon. So we're tied at 10. Durfee right back in it here.
So whatever Coach Kelly told them during that early timeout has been effective.
Foster on the outside hammered one and put it away. But Durfee's got some athleticism. You just saw Joshua Sannon jump over the tensor barrier both ways.
Yep.
And he did so fairly easily. Kill for Nyron Foster. That was a mishit by Rosa. I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit like that. It went
sideways.
Exactly
on his
sideways,
side of the net.
right down the line.
I wonder if he could do that again if he tried.
I don't know. And with a lot of pace, that thing was well struck.
So we're tied.
Tied back at 11. Durfee's Ethan Horsman.
New Bedford has Brooklyn Rodricks in, number 3.
That was set up perfectly for Montano on the outside, and he put that one away.
Yeah, that is someone you don't want him to get his range.
No.
We have seen games before where he's got a great hit, but it's too strong. It goes long. He doesn't quite get the angle down, but once he gets hot.
That was the first kill of the match for Montano. There's a tip from Durfee, but New Bedford is there. Montano goes with a tip. That was then a tip there in the middle of the floor by New Bedford's number 10, Devon Shields, and he is credited with a kill because of that. So well done there by Devon Shields.
Yeah, they're not always the big explosive kills, right?
No. Abner's son. On the outside, ball that Sun played, did a great job to get there, and then a ball pushed back of the floor by Nick Rosa for a kill. Saw that Durfee and their back line was creeping up, played it over the top. New Bedford back up by 3 at 14-11. It was a ball that looked like it might be going long. Montano
could not get it over.
No. I think he was caught between I want to hammer this and then I don't think I can hammer this, and tried to just tip it over, but didn't hit it hard enough. That's Rodricks. Oh, and that ball was set up perfectly for Shields, who now has 2 kills. 15-12 New Bedford.
Devon Shields set up nicely for that kill. And back to serve is Nicholas Rosa.
Horsman played it. Durfee's Olabanwo.
Oh! Did he miss Tommy's jump?
He got plenty of height. I think he was at the right spot, but he was too far forward.
Right.
So he had to try to reach back and just couldn't get to the ball. A little bit too early in the anticipation there. And that time they set him up right, and he's like, I'm putting that one away. So Montano, second kill. New Bedford up 16-13.
And you see by the door there under the basket, a very busy athletic director today, Tom Tarpey. As we told you, there's lacrosse, softball, baseball, and now volleyball going on here.
Oh, blocked at the net by New Bedford. That was number 18, the Whalers' Carter Barboza with the block. I'm sure Tom is saying, who made this schedule? Then he thought about it.
Oh, me.
Exactly, Pete, exactly.
I know softball's playing Apponequet. I didn't get the rest of the schedules.
Montano serving. And then the point to Durfee as Christopher Milford put one away right between 2 New Bedford blockers. And Milford goes to the service line. 17-14 Whalers. Oh, that's a service ace. New Bedford thought it was going long, but it was good. An ace for Milford. Pass there by New Bedford off the mark. And it's a service ace again for Milford. Back-to-back aces. And then an overpass there by Montano. And Durfee puts it away quickly. Hilltoppers have tied it at 17. 3 consecutive points on the service game of Christopher Milford. Then on the outside, Nyron Foster gets New Bedford back on track.
Foster contributing in this first set with 2 kills, 2 aces.
He's been solid. He's very consistent, Pete. Hits the ball hard, but not as hard as maybe Montano, but makes very few mistakes. This is Devon Centeo, the libero for New Bedford. Fine serve, as always, by Centeo. Durfee able to keep it alive. That was crazy.
Milford.
That was Milford, yep. Sliding off the floor, Pete. There he goes.
That's long.
And that one was long.
Great effort, though, by Milford to keep that play alive.
My goodness. Here's Centeo. Has a tremendous serve. Blocked at the net. New Bedford there. Wow, look close. I hope we have that one on replay.
That looked very close.
Yeah, for us, we're almost right on the line. Serving for Durfee, it's number 8, Lucas De Campos. 19-18, New Bedford. There's a ball off the tape, and Foster could not handle it. Durfee's tied it up, and Durfee, I'll tell you one thing, they're going, to use a boxing term, punch for punch with New Bedford here.
Pretty much. Remember, last time they played, it was a 3-2 New Bedford win, but Coach Kelly telling me that it wasn't until at least halfway through that his team thought that they could play these guys.
So Lee Tavares just put it into the net, so Durfee has their first lead of the match.
So I'm sure he's got them focused coming into today.
De Campos serving. And just Tavares has to just tip it over. This is dangerous for New Bedford. Again, a perfect set on the outside. Nice block there by the Whalers.
Comes again.
But they'll go right back to Milford. Whalers are there. Oh, that was Foster with an absolute bomb.
So a kill there for, who was it? Foster?
Foster, Nyron Foster.
He's having a game.
Tied at 20.
And a timeout by Ben Caterli.
Timeout on the floor.
20-20. Milford, though, staying smart. You can see a smart player, as we saw him make a great save coming off the court, then go right back into it. We've seen him serve and get right in position. And on that last volley, if you noticed, at one point he had a spike and New Bedford defended it. They set him up for another kill, and instead he just poked it over. Just did not give them what they expected. Almost caught the Whalers overreacting to it.
Yes, with the tip after the previous attempt, and he had a kill blocked. But New Bedford able to prevail in that point, and they've tied it back up at 20. Here's a point that we thought might have, well, I think this is just a kill by Foster. Yeah, I mean, this is an absolute howitzer.
Well, yeah, you can't defend that.
No.
And that must sting, too, I would think. When it hits you, maybe you get used to it.
You get used to it, but it's like, it's not the best feeling.
Right.
Okay, Whalers serving here. That was Barboza. On the outside, a ball off the tape, and it's out. Point to New Bedford.
We saw Milford try for another kill. With that one off the tape.
So New Bedford with a 21-20 lead. Carter Barboza. Another fine serve. Whalers are there on the outside. That was off the mark, but nice work there by Foster. Blocked at the net. Tip there by Durfee, doesn't work. Rosa, best point of the match so far. And then into the net from the back line by Milford. Just tried to do too much from back there.
How important do you think this first set is tonight?
Oh, it's very important, because you can see Durfee is at the top of their game, and a timeout on the floor by Durfee. And Brendan Kelly, that's his second timeout. He does not have any more to use here in set number 1. Yeah, I think it's very important, Pete. I mean, it's not going to be the all-determiner, but if Durfee were to win it, let's say, and have a 1-0 lead, then New Bedford is like, this seems pretty tough. Because you know they took them to 5 sets, and here New Bedford had a fairly substantial lead, 4 or 5 points at times, but Durfee has come right back and played well.
So the teams have had some common opponents this season. Durfee 7-4, New Bedford 11-0. They both played Barnstable. New Bedford won 3-0. Durfee lost 3-0. Brockton, New Bedford won 3-0. Durfee lost 3-1. And Taunton, both teams won 3-1. So.
Yeah, that's amazing to me that Durfee lost to Brockton and to Barnstable. Here's the point that I think we were questioning. I don't know if you can see the back line.
Yeah, it looks in, doesn't it?
It's pretty close.
Looks like it caught the line.
I don't know if he can back it up. I know, Dan, he can back it up. It does look like it's
right there.
Right there. Boom. Yeah.
Well.
Unless it's an optical illusion, it's traveling another foot. Nice work by our camera crew and Dan Cabral in the truck to come up with that replay. On the outside, Durfee just has to play it over. This is a big point. New Bedford looking for a 3-point lead here in set number 1. There's a ball played over. New Bedford was too deep. And that time Milford, with some modified topspin, didn't strike it as hard as he normally does, but got it over the front line and had the ball dipping.
Combination of Centeo and Montano just could not dig that one out.
As Salih Tavares, that one is well in. Second kill for Salih Tavares. New Bedford up 23-21. And Foster, probably their best server, along with Centeo. Look at that serve. That's a service ace for Nyron Foster.
His third of this first set.
No announcers jinxed that time, Pete.
So set point for the Whalers.
Foster again. That's a service ace.
And they win.
Nyron Foster with 4 aces in set number 1, 3 kills. He was the star of the set as New Bedford takes set number 1 by a score of 25-21.
So the teams will switch sides. Before the game, I had a chance to talk to New Bedford Whalers head coach Ben Caterly, and I asked him, I said, besides your record, what's different this year? What's different about this team? Are they finally buying into what you want? Have you had them long enough? And he did say that this is the first group that has really had not only time together, but they've had time in the off season between club ball and beach volleyball too. So a lot of these guys play year round and they play together. And he said when they're out there on the court, he gets contributions from everybody on that roster, and they just mesh. They know what to do. They expect things from each other. And he said, you know, he had a good team, I think he said 2 years ago, but of course they were affected by COVID. So this is the first squad that has really had a good off season to work out, condition, get better, and he's enjoying it.
Yeah, when you're 11-0, you can enjoy the season.
And the funny thing was, Coach Brendan Kelly, he said, you know, we're friends, and I'm happy for Ben. I'm just not happy 2 days out of the year when we play him at home, when we play him here.
Well, that's good. It's good that they're friends and that he likes Ben, and Ben is bringing back boys volleyball to New Bedford High School. They've had a down period for the most part, since the retirement of Coach Steve DeRossi. So it's kind of been up and down at best for the Whalers, but.
And you remember a couple of years ago, I think he told us that he actually recruited some of the basketball players because
that's an old Steve DeRossi trick.
Yeah, they know how to get up.
So you see players like Nick Rosa from other sports, Shields, and what happens is if they're good athletes, especially the second year, you're really going to get something out of them. So they are good athletes, and then if they can adapt relatively quickly and they play for, even though it's probably their first time playing volleyball in high school, if they can adapt quickly, in a couple years you can have a very productive player.
And another thing you mentioned was, you can teach a kid, how to spike the ball. You can teach how to dig. But they now understand where to go on the floor, where to anticipate the ball. And that just comes through experience and playing together.
Yeah, no question. Teamwork is still the most powerful. Having star players help, but a cohesive team that plays well together.
You see Juan Gramontano trying to get the crowd and his teammates to do it. Crowd is going a little bit as we pass 5:30 here.
Yeah, no question, Pete. It's doubled, but it started pretty low. So.
Difficult time to get here.
Yes. We started at 5:15, and we might have started.
I think we started a little early.
A couple minutes early. Yeah. So here we go. Carter Barboza on the service line. If you're New Bedford here, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. Blocked at the net. Violation is called against Durfee. The number of strikes, of course. They hit the ball too many times there. The ball went into the net. They struck it again. On the outside. Oh, the block there, but it's out. So Durfee with the point. Kill will be credited to number 14, Joshua Sannon. Second kill for Sannon.
Point for New Bedford as Nyron Foster got that over the net, but could not be returned. And the equivalent of making a great play, then leading off the next inning, Foster serves.
Serving. And it's out. Nyron doesn't miss very often, but that time he did.
Service error number 4 for the Whalers. Brooklyn Rodrigues checks in, and Nyron Foster gets a break.
That was Brooklyn Rodrigues. On the outside, Montano blocked, but it's out, so the kill to Montano.
That's his third.
Third kill for Juan Gramontano.
And Abner Soon goes back once again to serve.
Dipping serve. Durfee plays it over safely. On the outside, that's Rosa. Had to just make sure that he got it over and avoided the antenna. Again, not the best setup there, so ball was put safely over by Montano. Barboza to the outside. That's Montano. That's hammered. An absolute rocket, Pete, from Juan Gramontano.
I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of his. And he's only a sophomore. If this is your first game watching us this season, Juan Gramontano, a transfer from Colombia.
And he's played well. That's Barboza. Now they'll set on the outside. Tip over by Rosa. Given right back to New Bedford.
Oh,
Oh, nice effort there by Shields. He was fooled by the set by Barboza.
into the net.
And then hammered into the net on the outside there by Durfee's number 6, Olubanwo. J.O. Olubanwo. Sounds like an NFL player now.
Yes, he does.
These days. They got a lot of players with names like that. Ball is out, 5-3 Whalers.
Saw today my Miami Dolphins have picked up Odell Beckham Jr. on a 1-year deal, and
You just keep on adding to the offense. Just how much can you get from your offense is the question. Oh, nice dig there by Barboza, and Shields could not get it over. Too many strikes by New Bedford, so the point to Durfee. It's 5-4 Whalers. Of course, they have a wonderful complement of receivers.
let's just hope they have a defense.
That's the other point, because they've devoted a lot of their resources to the offense. Point to New Bedford.
Get up in the rafters, and as we've said before, it's a live ball, and I don't know if the change in direction threw Durfee off.
That's New Bedford's Rosa. Brooklyn Rodricks was there. Oh, what a dig by Rosa. And bumped over by Barboza. Oh, the block by Devon Shields. That was a rocket by Milford, but Devon Shields with the block, Pete. And New Bedford with the point, leading at 7-4.
Watch this block. Here comes the
And the
strike.
ball is absolutely smashed.
Nice
It's
block.
going to be a service ace for Nick Rosa. Blocked at the net, but New Bedford could not handle it. Tremendous effort by Shields. The block really was just going to fall and hit the floor, so Shields hit the floor to come up with it, but couldn't get it high enough for a teammate to get there. And there's a service error by Durfee.
Durfee's only had 3 to New Bedford's.
So that was J.O. Olubanwo.
New Bedford with 6. Montano back to serve.
That's Montano. Tremendous serve there
Pretty
by
strong
Juan.
serve.
Yes. Point to New Bedford. It is a service ace, as Durfee could not return it. So Montano with his first ace of the match.
Got 4 kills.
Well, he's going to have 2 aces now. He can get on a roll with his service game. There's no question. We've seen it, Pete.
He's had 2 in a row here.
He has the ability to have some tremendous placement in addition to just hammering the ball. Ball goes out, but I think it was deflected. Yes. Yep. So point to Durfee. Milford with a service error comes up with a kill and then has the error to follow. Those service errors are they really do a lot of damage in a tight match, Pete.
And especially shifting momentum.
You work so hard for a point and then you just give it back without even making the other team play. That's where the real problem lies.
That one skirted the net.
And the point to New Bedford, a service ace for Centeo. And Durfee with a timeout as the Hilltoppers find themselves down by 8.
Yeah, they can't afford to let this second set slip away. Whalers, after tonight's game, will be off for the weekend. They're back in action Monday, hosting Barnstable here at New Bedford High School. They beat them 3-0. Wednesday, they host Catholic Memorial. So this is the beginning of a homestand for the Whalers. They also beat Catholic Memorial 3-0. Then next Friday night, they're on the road, and they'll be up in the North End to play Greater New Bedford Evoke Tech. The city trophy is here at New Bedford High School after the win earlier by the Whalers. They'll take it up to Ashley Boulevard and see who gets possession next Friday night. They beat the Bears 3-0 in a game we did here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I anticipate we'll be there for that one.
Probably.
13-5, New Bedford leading, 13-6 I should say, New Bedford leading Durfee with Centeo on the service line. Devon Centeo. Montano on the outside. Foster hit a rocket down the line.
Impressive. Nyron Foster, a junior. Let's look at it again.
And he's just getting better every time we see him.
And boom.
Centeo. Look at that serve. That's Centeo. New Bedford is there amazingly to preserve that point. And then on the outside, a ball well struck there by Sannon. Joshua Sannon now with 3 kills. 14-7 the Whalers. Again, New Bedford able to keep it alive with just pure reactions. And then blocked at the net as Sannon couldn't put one away. That's Centeo. Tipped by Barboza.
Nice. Did he go? No, he got it.
Yeah. Number 7 into the net, I believe, or 8 into the net for Durfee. So the point to New Bedford, the official signaling the number. That was Lucas de Campos. Here's Carter Barboza. And that's out.
16-7 Whalers.
Opening it up here in set number 2, Carter Barboza.
Trouble. Hit the roof.
Montano thought he was going to get there, but once it hit the ceiling, no chance.
Grabs his ankle too. I don't know if a little
Put the
tender.
brakes on. Yeah, tried to slam the brakes on. That's Montano. On the outside, Rosa went down the line. That's going to be a point for New Bedford. Rosa, a nice job there. Not a full swing. The push shot that really has been allowed for the last several years.
Nyron Foster with 4 aces on the night.
And of course, you
had
the announcer jinx that time. You applied it.
It happens to me, not you. Have you noticed that?
Well, you had one though that you called, and it ended up being a tremendous point, and it was not. There was no jinx involved at all. You started the non-jinx ones, but now you kind of reverted back to your old self.
So Brooklyn Rodrigues is in for defense. Foster goes out.
Durfee is there. There goes a ball that's long down the line.
And the rebound, it comes off the wall and almost all the way to the net.
It was just hammered. Durfee has similar players to New Bedford as far as they just go all out.
Right.
Milford, Sandon.
Abner soon in for Centeo.
A tip there that time as Milford tried to say, I'm not in position to, go after it hard. I'm just going to tip it over, but then left it short, hit the net.
So how big is this if New Bedford takes this set and leads 2-0?
Oh, well, that's obviously huge. Barboza on the outside. No one's going to get to that one. That was Montano. Hit it so hard, it went off the hands of a blocker and went well out. Just a rocket.
Abner soon back to serve again.
No chance there as Milford was not set up. He had to try to go from well out of bounds across the net. He had no other way to avoid the antenna. So point to New Bedford, 21-9 the Whalers. Durfee just keeping it alive. That's Sun. Then it was touched.
Wow.
The point to New Bedford.
I didn't think that set was high enough, and I thought it was going to be out, but you're right, it was touched by Durfee.
And the point to the Whalers, it's 22-9.
Coach Kelly does have one more timeout to use.
I think he's looking at this one and saying pretty much this one is kind of a lost cause. 23-9.
And Abner soon still serving.
Just had a wonderful run here at the net. New Bedford there with the block and the violation against Durfee. It's all coming apart now for the Hilltoppers. New Bedford with a set point at 24-9. Abner, Sun. Blocked, but it's out. New Bedford can't finish Durfee yet. It's 24-10. Credit the kill to Milford.
It's been mostly Milford and Sannon on offense for Durfee. And the score kind of reflects that when you only got two people contributing.
Very true, Pete. That's Montano. Oh, he had a ball that was perfectly set up. He just missed. Hit it too long. That, with no blockers there, that was one that he could have hit almost directly down. Sun. Barboza on the outside. Montano went with the tip. It's Brooklyn Rodricks. Rosa just punches it over. Durfee is there. Rodricks. Barboza.
There it is.
Sent number 10, Shields, with the kill to finish it off. And New Bedford takes set number 2, 25-11.
After taking the first set 25-21, the Whalers turn it up and take set number 2, 25-11. I kind of thought we might have another 3-2 match here. Of course, it could still happen, but here's how the game ended.
Here's a set point, Pete.
Rodricks, then the set, and nobody home there. As Shields gets the kill, his third of the night, and the Whalers lead 2-0. I mentioned the power rankings for both of the volleyball teams, or the teams that we cover. New Bedford is 10th in Division I. Durfee is 30th in Division I. Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech is 27th. In baseball, about the only one of our local teams that is in the power rankings right now, Bishop Stang is 23rd in Division III, and they're having a bad year. As I looked at their record, I think they've only won 3 games, but they're 23rd.
Again, power rankings.
Softball in Division I, New Bedford High is 21st. Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech is 15th in Division III. Bishop Stang is 24th in Division III. And of course, we still have 3 weeks left in the regular season. The power rankings, I believe, are updated every Tuesday and Friday. If you want to go to the MIAA.net website.
But the good news is all of the local teams in position, Pete, if everything goes well, to make the postseason. New Bedford softball has been on the rise. I know you mentioned they were only up to number 21 in the rankings, but they've been playing better as of late, as we can attest to. We've done a couple of their games recently.
We did their game Monday when Coach Harry Lowe got his 600th win. They beat Bridgewater Raynham 10-4. Then they went out to Dartmouth on Wednesday, lost to the Indians only by 1, 4-3. And when I came into tonight's game, they're playing Apponequet right behind the gym, and it was 2-2, I believe, in the second inning when I came in. So game should be over shortly.
We've seen all high-scoring games, so it's interesting that against Dartmouth it was 4-3.
4-3, yeah.
And that you said it was 2-2 in the second, though, of course, here earlier this afternoon while we were coming into this match.
So the Whalers, how much do you think they want to have a straight set win?
Oh, badly. Yeah, they would like to win in 3 straight. All you have to do is ask the Boston Bruins.
I'm afraid.
Do you want to? Yes, yes.
I'm afraid to watch Saturday's game.
Yes, yeah, you're right, Pete. I mean, they have lost 6 consecutive games to close out rounds.
What did I read today? Somebody posted that Jim Montgomery is turning into the Marty Schottenheimer of hockey coaches.
Yeah.
Marty Schottenheimer could always have a good season, but then fall apart in the playoffs.
But they could win a round or 2. They just never got anywhere. But there's a big difference when you lose, and you lose after being ahead 3 games to 1.
Right.
I think his job will be in jeopardy if they lose again, because what are you going to do? You're going to go into another season with that hanging over, and it almost as if there has to be a sacrificial lamb, someone to say, well, if he would have done a better job, maybe we would have closed out those series. The ball is out.
And quickly a 2-0 lead for the Whalers.
And that's why when you have a chance to close out a volleyball match or any type of playoff series or a game even, you do your best to finish it then. You don't say, oh, we've got runway here. That's Sannon on the outside, but New Bedford is there. Montano, it was off a block. It'll be a New Bedford kill, and that's Montano.
Montano with kill number 6.
We saw Durfee playing so well in set number 1. Now they're kind of reeling a bit. Foster off the tape. Oh, nice dig there. That could have been an ace. That's Sannon. He split the blockers. So he's credited with a kill, and you mentioned it, Pete. It's been Joshua Sannon or Christopher Milford, essentially. Well, according to my score sheet,
that's it. Those 2.
They have all of the points that have been scored. Of course, there are other points that are scored by mistakes or errors. The serve is out.
That's service error number 5 for Durfee. New Bedford has 7.
It was Ethan Horsman. 4-1 Whalers. Abner Sun playing a lot more as the season rolls on. One of the reasons why is his serve. Blocked there, and it's out off of Rosa. So a kill for Milford, as it continues to be either Milford or Sannon scoring all of the points for Durfee. Oh, a tip there by Shields, but into the net. 4-3 Hilltoppers. That was Rosa just hammering it into the block of Milford, and he could not get it back over the net. So the point to New Bedford, and Rosa with a kill. So again, Pete, to your point, Montano with a total of 6 kills, Rosa with 4, Shields with 3, Nyron Foster with 4. There was a kill on the outside. Well, That broke the string. That's number 6, J.O. Olabanwo, with his first kill.
But you're right, New Bedford's spreading it around, getting contributions from, what, 4 or 5 players.
That's Montano. Absolutely hammers it.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it can't feel the best. I'll say that.
Taking notes on Montano here. It's going off the edge of my page.
He's starting to get on a roll here. Nope, served it into the net.
And the announcer jinx bites Joe Cabral.
Or even one apiece. On the outside, that's Foster. Durfee is there.
Oh, kept it
Bedford
alive.
Keeps it alive. That was Rosa. That was Montano flying around on the back line. They'll set it up on the outside to Foster.
Oh,
he hammered it. What a dig. That's Montano. It danced on the tape. What a point. Tremendous point here. Both squads. And then Shields put it into the net.
But you're right, a great volley by both squads. Even Coach Caturli, he's out to the right side. He's applauding his team. They lost that point, but it was very well played.
Oh, Shields doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Made 2 in a row there. So now Durfee out in front, 7-6. They're not dead yet. That's Foster. That's an absolute bomb. And that was in. That was well in. And you see Milford saying, no, that's out. No, sorry, Christopher.
So Foster had 3 kills in the first set, 2 in the second set, now has another. And back to serve is Kevin Centeo.
Has a tremendous serve.
Backwards. Trouble.
Durfee keeps it alive. Centeo, Barboza, Salih Tavares. All the timing thrown off there, and it actually benefited New Bedford, as Tavares could not come away with a full swing, modified his hit, and it was just tricky for Durfee. Centeo. Oh, that could have been a violation. New Bedford complaining there a bit, and there from the back line, it's Montano.
Yeah, Durfee cannot let New Bedford go on a run here if they have any hopes of tying this thing up.
9-7. There's Centeo. Another block by New Bedford on Sannon.
That was what, Tavares and Barboza?
Yes, it was.
On the block. Carter Barboza, the captain.
Oh, look at that serve from Centeo, Pete.
Second ace for Centeo. I was going to say Carter Barboza may not make it on the scorebook, but he makes those plays when they need him. He's got 2 key blocks tonight.
And of course, we're not able to get the official assist by Barboza, but he gets a bunch as the setter for New Bedford. Durfee keeps it alive here. New Bedford is there. That's Centeo. And played over safely by Foster.
Oh, miscommunication.
And that's why you keep a point alive. It's a kill for for Nyron Foster.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I think I've seen, as Durfee calls it timeout here, I think I've seen a couple of times in this third set where the ball's been hit 4 times.
Well,
they are allowed to do that, right?
A block does not count as a hit. So
okay.
That's what you see. So New Bedford, let's say a kill attempt, the blockers go up, it hits the blocker's hands.
That doesn't
count as no.
Okay.
So then they have three strikes from there, 3 hits from there, and that's why it looks like it's 4 hits, but they don't count the block as a hit because it's not intentional. You're not intentionally striking the ball by your own will. You're just they're blocking, so the block doesn't count as a hit.
Okay.
So you were right. You are seeing the ball struck 4 times on one side of the floor, make contact with hands. I guess might be a better way to look at it.
Thank you for our Volleyball 101.
We've been doing it for a while now. Way back, I can't tell you how many years ago, but you used to call what we call now a tip a dink.
A dink.
It was a dink.
Okay.
So, and that was the official term. That was not something to be derogatory. It was a dink. And they changed the term, and I was using the term dink, and one of the coaches said, no, it's not dink anymore, it's tip. So you can't use the term dink, but it was the term. A spike, obviously, you had, and then you had a dink. Sort of like the ground rule double. It's gone by the wayside. On the outside, Foster. Ball was good. Oh, no, they're going to say Durfee into the net. So New Bedford with the point. Barboza. Nice serve there by Carter. On the outside, that's out. Sandin.
So the softball game is over because I can see the announcer, the stadium announcers here watching this game. So I'm just checking all the socials, and Tom Tarpey hasn't updated his Twitter yet.
So we haven't seen the results as of yet. New Bedford there. On the outside, blocked again by the Whalers. Salih Tavares and Rosa. And the ball is out. The pressure on Sandin and Milford to put away points is tremendous, because you can see there, Sandin thought he had it killed, did not come up with one, tried again. And another point to New Bedford. Whalers Foster.
Just what I said earlier about how Durfee could not allow New Bedford to get on a run. That's exactly what has happened here.
16-8, the Whalers leading it. And this is when you have to just put it away. Barboza. Into the lower part of the net. So the point to New Bedford, 17-8. Carter Barboza, number 18.
Not much spin on that ball.
Whalers were there, but that is a kill that time.
Carter Barboza tried to keep it alive, but there was just nobody there to take that second shot.
Here's Durfee's number 2, Daniel Matuzak.
Left-handed server.
Oh, Salih Tavares was set up perfectly and struck it perfectly that time.
He was quiet in the second set, had 2 in the first, and now 2 kills in the third.
And just think of, again, you're getting points middle of the floor from your middle hitter. You don't see that from Durfee at all. So everything comes from the outside. So there's no real change up, for lack of a better term. You're always going to the outside to try to come up with your points.
Back to serve now is senior Ethan Horseman. We mentioned Durfee has 10 seniors on their roster. New Bedford with 4.
Oh my goodness. Montano just doing his best to just show the crowd, I can hang. I'll just hang up in there in the ozone for a bit and then hit this ball like a rocket.
He's one of those players that if they sold his jersey in the gift shop, people might buy it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not called the gift shop, is it? School store.
Yes. Rosa with a kill on the outside. New Bedford just racking up the points here now in set number 3, leading it 20-10, looking for the clean sweep.
New Bedford is 11-0 and 2-0 in the conference. They could go to 3-0 in the conference.
Not sure what's going on here. There's a little whistle on the sideline for a second. Tip blocked. Rosa. Durfee keeps it alive, and then Rosa took the overpass.
And just sent it back over.
That's 7 kills for Rosa.
I think what they were talking about is there's a ball stuck. You can just see it in that net.
Okay.
That just went up there a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Point for Durfee.
Off the block, so Durfee
That's
with the point.
Olobanwo getting his second kill. So he's come alive a little bit here in the third.
And we call him J.O., Pete, because his name is spelled Jessutomisin.
Jesu Tomaisen, I'm going to say.
Sounds like a medication.
Another point for the Whalers.
Bedford comes up with the point on the outside. A ball up into the ceiling. So the point to New Bedford. And I think the story here is Durfee has high-end talent that matches New Bedford, but it's that next level down,
right?
That next tier down where I think there's a pretty big discrepancy in talent.
And there seems to be uncertainty.
Oh my goodness, Montano. I think you put your car at risk on that one,
I know,
Pete.
huh? He is so much fun to watch. There seems to be some uncertainty on the Durfee side about should I go for it? And you don't see that on the New Bedford side.
And you didn't see it in set number 1. It's something that happens as you get demoralized. You don't know what to do. Middle of the floor, Shields was blocked. Barboza wanted to see if Durfee was out of position.
So you'll notice it. There's a little.
Oh, Montano couldn't put it away, and he's like, man, I had a chance to finish up the match. 24-12, New Bedford leads it.
Back to serve is Olobanwo.
And Montano puts it away, middle of the floor. The kill that finishes the match as New Bedford defeats Durfee in 3 straight sets. Scores of 25-21, 25-11, and 25-12. In set number 1, Durfee actually had the lead at 20-19, and then New Bedford was able to pull it out and then just dominated sets 2 and 3.
For the Whalers, the high score appears to be Wangra Montano. I've got him with 11 kills and 2 aces. He is followed by Nicholas Rosa with 6, Nyron Foster with 6, Foster with 4 aces. And did not expect a straight set win, but New Bedford High goes to 12-0. They will play again next Monday here at home when they take on Barnstable. Then they're home Wednesday against Catholic Memorial. Then they go to Greater New Bedford Voc Tech next Friday night.
Wouldn't it be fun if New Bedford went into that one, Pete, 15-0?
Could happen.
To
Could
take
very
on
well
Voc
happen.
Tech?
They've beaten, of course, they've beaten all of those teams being undefeated.
Well, that'll do it from the Beardsworth Gonzalez Gymnasium. The New Bedford Whalers continue their impressive performance in the 2024 season. A team that was not ranked highly, not ranked at all, frankly, to start the season, now has moved all its way up to 10th place, and they're 12-0 under Ben Coturley. The final scores for a final time: New Bedford over Durfee 25-21 in set 1. Set 2, 25-11 the Whalers. Set 3, 25-12 New Bedford. For Pete Braley and all of our staff here at the New Bedford Cable Network, I'm Joe Cabral. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night, everyone.